Welcome to Red Bull Spinoff. Today we've got teams from all over who've brought their custom bikes to the windy city of Chicago for one goal. Work together, stay upright, and reach the finish line. Now that sounds simple enough until you realize this track is floating on water. Balance, teamwork, and just a little bit of courage will be put to the test as teams navigate obstacles and the constant threat of an unexpected swim. So the question is, who can keep it together without making a plunge? This is Red Bull Spinoff, where creativity meets coordination, and one wrong move can send everything into the water. Welcome to Chicago. Hannah Rad alongside Josiah Johnson for Red Bull Spinoff. Let's take a look at today's course. We start at the top of the hill and hit the whoops section. These rolling hills are designed to test momentum out of the gate. From there, it's straight into the bridge drop, where teams are going to be launching down the ramp trying to keep their carts under control. They're picking up speed as they head into the Riverwalk steps, followed immediately by the Lighthouse Roundabout. Steering, control, necessary. The pothole bike path leads into a narrow stretch for a dramatic push towards the finish line. Now, let's meet our first pair of contestants.
Will you make it to the end?
Of course, that's why we're here.
That's the
spirit, ladies and gentlemen.
Mutts Club is our first team. Josiah, how are we feeling here today in Chicago?
Hannah, feeling very good. We got a great crew to start. I'm sure they're making Harry and Lloyd proud with the Dumb and Dumber shout out. Let's see if this mutt can stay dry.
Now, they got a little bit stalled up there on that first obstacle on the whoops course. Listen, it's not just about the speed. It is also about the creativity of the craft that the judges are looking for.
So, Hannah, they're going to get a slight deduction for putting their feet on the ground, but slow and steady wins the race. You want to maintain control. Try and stay out of that water.
They're staying dry so far. Now, they're not quite flying as fast as they might have been anticipated to, but around this Lighthouse Roundabout, they get a little stuck. But again, feet on the ground, like you mentioned, that is a 5-second point penalty. So they're going to tack that on to whatever their time is, should they cross the finish line.
Mutt appears to be coming apart just a little bit, but they are still making it through the potholes, trying to get to that finish line.
Now it's getting really narrow here, so we'll see.
Oh! Big gulps. See you later.
I think we're going to have a smell of wet dog here in Chicago. Now, that water looks super refreshing, but that is not a successful finish across the line. For our first team here, Mutts Club, a brother and sister duo, not quite getting it done, but looking pretty stylish doing it.
They got to the narrow section of the race, and that mutt is a little moist now.
That's kind of how it goes here with a Red Bull Spinoff. If you're unfamiliar, I feel like that's a pretty good send-off for our first competitors. But let's go back. We're going to get into our next pair of competitors here in the Windy City Inn. As noted, it's the Windy City Dive Bomb.
They started the OK Cycle Club, which is now in its 5th year. Let's see if they can cycle their way to glory, make it through the finish line.
And it is a quick splash down into the lake. John has competed in over 175 bike races. That might be the quickest one yet.
Brent's pre-race breakfast included a savory sardine kimchi oatmeal. Probably not an ideal way to start and get ready for this race.
Now, watching the replay here, you can see that this first obstacle already giving our early competitors a bit of a run for their money. A little bit of a trouble with the whoops section.
Red Bull gives you wings. They didn't need those to fly into that water. Ooh, right when they just got started.
Big whoops right there. Listen, we're going to get back into it. Take you back up to the top of the ramp and check in with our next team.
Okay. Question, Kelly. Will the guiding light in front of
Will you guys make it to the end?
I sure hope so.
And does Chicago hope so also?
All right.
Chicago seems to hope so. This is the Pedal Power Truckers from Chaseburg, Wisconsin, a husband and wife team.
So Lorenzo, the husband, a skilled mechanic who once stripped an entire semi-truck down to the frame, repainted, and rebuilt it entirely on his own. Not sure if that will help him at all in this race. Let's see if they keep on trucking to the finish line.
Feet down on the platform. So like you said, that's that 5-second time. And just crossing over that bit of a corner into the turn of the Lighthouse Roundabout. I thought they were done for, but they're still upright.
She appears to be a backseat driver right now as they make it through the potholes. We'll see if they get through that narrow stretch, which has tripped up a few of our riders so far.
Picking up a little speed there. Oh, off to the left-hand side of that very narrow stretch right before the finish line. So no successful runs yet, but they have made it quite a little bit further than any team has thus far.
They truck down the course, try to make it through, slow and steady.
This right here, you can see that front wheel just crossing over that gap. Lighthouse Roundabout didn't prove to be any problem for them, but right here is where you can see just a little too thin on that crossover.
Stumbled right into the water. Wow.
All right, let's keep it moving right into our next team. This is Indigo Cycling. Now for this team, it's not just about the game. It's not just about the competition. It's the camaraderie.
They were created to be competitive wherever they are welcomed and valued, and they push it to the test. It's not Indigoing so well right now for them.
Look, I don't know if you can tell. I think we're going to get a replay on this. That front wheel, as soon as it hit the first hump of this whoops obstacle, completely bent. It's looking like if you're not having enough speed coming off this, it's really going to prove challenging to get over these two humps. And whoops, indeed. You can see it right there. Just bent on that front wheel.
They were going to ride till the wheels fall off. The wheel didn't fall off, but it definitely bent beyond control. We're unable to finish this race. So Indigo is a no-no.
We're looking for our first competitors to cross that finish line. But we're going to take a look back up as, oh, that big splash down. Seems refreshing. It's not going to be a victory today.
Will you make it to the end?
We're going to make it to the end.
Let's go. Here we
I like the confidence from this team. This is the Cruz Brothers. They said they're going to make it to the end. Now, the Cruz Brothers are actually a boyfriend and girlfriend team. Andrea slid into Casey's DMs last year.
She slid into his DMs. We'll see if they can slide to the end of this course as they try to work in conjunction with each other.
It looks like they're pedaling in same, like very, very, very structured right now. No problem with the potholes coming across, but let's see if this narrow part of the course is any issue for them. And
oh, they have navigated through the narrow part of the stretch.
oh, and we have our first competitors across the finish line today. The Cruz Brothers out of Chicago, Illinois, a hometown team.
Missed the bell, but still good to go. 28.28 seconds. Shout out to them for their creativity and also getting the course finished.
I like the excitement. I love the energy here. The hometown team celebrating with the kiss as they make it across. Check out the replay here. They've navigated this first obstacle greatly. The feet did go down, so there is a 5-second penalty for putting those toes down on the tarmac, but they're making it through each and every obstacle, no problem whatsoever.
Andrea has no sense of smell, half a sense of taste, but they might be tasting victory with this impressive run through the narrow stretch all the way to the finish line. Forgot to ring that bell, but held on to go back and get it. Beautiful.
I like it. Congratulations to the Cruz Brothers for finishing. Let's take it back to the top.
Will you make it to the end?
Oh, we are staying high and dry today.
High and Dry is the name of the game for Team Disco Demolition. Met in 2024 at a nonprofit bike co-op.
Shout out to Kira, drives a minivan lovingly named Big Booty. Not sure why I got that name, but they are going big into the water.
Oh, I was going to say, he's got to jump in
Very
with
supportive.
her.
You got to appreciate the support. We're going down as a team. You go, we go.
It looks like a beautiful day in Chicago. It's hot, it's sunny, and that water does look refreshing, but unfortunately that is not going to be a successful run for Team Disco Demolition as they splash it on down.
She was very confident to start. That confidence did not pay off, and she went right into the water head first.
High and Dry is the name of the game. That is not the game that they've successfully completed here today, but everyone seems to be okay. We've got people on the ground saying everyone is okay.
You make it to the end.
Most definitely, we will make it to the end.
Okay.
Josiah, can we talk about the elephant in the room here? That is literally the name of this team. Elephant in the room.
Appreciate the love, appreciate the graffiti. Benjamin worked as a bike messenger throughout high school and college. Let's see if he can. No, he cannot messenger his way through right to the water.
Is that our quickest crash down, splash down as it stands yet? Because it is right off the top of that first whoops ramp.
The Indigo crew stayed dry. This crew did not. The elephant in the room is they will not be finishing this race.
That's an elephant that's hard to miss when they splash down that quickly. Hey, shouts out to everyone who's in the chat with us right now. If you've got any comments, any concerns about any of our teams, don't worry about it because we've got the team with the balls of steel up next.
So, Balls of Steel here, ladies and gentlemen. They learned what a massive contribution Chicago had in creating pinball machines during the 20th century. So the idea for Balls of Steel was born. Get your mind out the gutter if you thought it was anything else of that. And those balls are not steely enough. No, they are both in the water.
Mine in the gutter, but also we've got a man in the water right now. Team Balls of Steel not making it down that hill. That is a quick trip for this team right here.
Pinball wizards, but not wizards of this course.
Team Holy Matrimony, will you make it to the end?
Oh, I pray I do so I don't have to fall down that.
Team Rolling Matrimony just got married. They met right here in Chicago on the beach. Now I'm hoping for no runaway bride situations.
Happy wife, happy life. Seemed doomed from the start of this race. They are both still on the track. Bike still intact. Let's see if they can keep this going.
Are they going to keep pushing it on down? It looks like they're actually going back up to the top of the ramp. Now, listen, if they met on a date on the beach in Chicago, second chance to make a first impression right here as they head back to the top of their ramp. I don't know that they're going to be winning any points and favors for the quickest time. They'll take that 5-second penalty, but they're up and at it, and they're back for their second go-round.
Definitely got to give them some love on the creativity, the floor arrangements. Happy wife, happy life. Let's see if they can get through this course. So far, so good.
Now, I'm told that our bride, Summer, can actually ride a unicycle. Today, it's a little bit of a different piece of apparatus here, as the tandem bicycle makes it almost narrowly across that section of the course. We've got a groom down.
She might be going solo back onto that unicycle. She stayed high and dry. He did not.
I like it. She's opting for the fashion over the function of falling down into the water, keeping it nice and dry. Now, they made it pretty quickly on that second run, but not successfully across the finish line. Congratulations to the newlyweds, though.
Here's wishing them all the best.
Back up to the top of the ramp, and we've got the Blues Brothers from Countryside in Lamont, Illinois. They met over 25 years ago at Kelly's Pub in Chicago. They're already doomed from the start. Something's fallen off the card.
So both are recent first-time grandparents. Their combined age is 125. They are showing their old age right now as they're unable to even get through the first part of this obstacle course. Going backwards, Anna.
I'm not sure, but that card says to serve and protect. I'm not sure whom. But as they are walking it up over that whoops ramp, it's looking like this may not be a successful run, but more of a successful stroll across these humps and bumps.
Currently stuck on the hump, trying to figure it out, work together. Both have been married over 30 years. They want to wish their wives happy anniversary. Their wives want to wish them. No.
That is a harsh entrance into that second whoops bump right there. Congratulations on all they've achieved in their combined 125 years of life. But unfortunately today we would not be congratulating them on a successful run through Red Bull Spinoff Chicago's course. Big splash right there.
Unfortunate ending to that race. A for effort, though. Way to try, guys.
Listen, like we said, congratulations on everything except what they've done here today on the course. If y'all are having a good time in the chat, y'all let us know. Hannah Rad here alongside Josiah Johnson. As we keep it moving, we keep it pushing here for Red Bull Spinoff Chicago. We're back up at the top of the ramp. Team Say Cheese. Now, this idea representing how much cheese is in a Chicago deep dish pizza.
Hannah, lactose intolerant, but always have time for a deep dish, and they're going to take a deep dive into that water. Ooh.
Listen, as a New Yorker, I got to say, New York style pizza might be a little bit better than that deep dish if they'd opted for that instead of that heavy cheese weighing them down that first obstacle.
Hopefully no Chicagoans in the chat to hear that, Hannah. You know they love their pizza just as much as they probably didn't love seeing them take that crash into the water.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just like New York more. So congratulations to the hometown team. Big splash, deep dives out of that deep dish. We're back up again to the top of the ramp here for Red Bull Spinoff Chicago team Melting Fast. They met at a grocery store where Clayton noticed Michael's Tour de France shirt. A little bit of bike stuff there for you.
So Michael's wife designed the craft. Ooh. She loves ice cream, but oh no, they scream right into the water, taking a deep dive, barely making it through the humps, not even to the bridge.
That's a big crash right there, a big splash, a hard fall, but we love to see our riders as they signify with that tap of the helmet that they are indeed okay. Good to see that everybody is safe, secure. We've got a great team of individuals out here on the grounds in Chicago. It's a big splash, but listen, I don't think anything has hurt more than maybe their pride and ego.
That is how it goes. Hopefully they can have some ice cream after this to get right back on track.
From our fire marshal.
Will you make it to the end?
We're going to take chances and make mistakes and get messy.
Well, there you have it.
I like the energy here. No risk without a reward without a big risk, right?
That sounded like a long-winded way of saying no, they're not going to make it to the end of the course.
The Magic School Bus takes off as this team met while playing roller derby. Will they be rolling or derbying, crashing or splashing down our course today?
We've noticed the first obstacle, the hump, is giving people a lot of trouble. Ooh.
And that is a face plant right into the whoops. Just bailed on it.
Just abandoned ship. We've come as far as we're going to go.
Listen, they did say it was going to get a little messy, and I feel like, they set up the plot for us pretty well there. So congratulations, no spoilers, because you've done exactly as you've said. Now this one, talk about a tandem bike. It's more like a double-decker, the Bulldozers. This team works for a Chicago nonprofit.
Gotta salute the creativity, Hannah. I'm not gonna lie to you. As soon as I saw the design of their bike, I knew they were going in the water.
Listen, I know we've got some height here. Yeah, you know something about being a little bit on the taller end of things. That, as it stands right here and as it falls, that's a long way to go.
I think they will set the record for the highest drop into the water for the day. Salute them on the creativity, but that was a tough spill, tough way to end the day for them.
Just rethinking everything here. Back to the top for our next team.
This is Chloe and Ernesto. My question to you, Ernesto, will you make it to the end?
100%. Look at us. Look at us.
We're ready for him, folks.
I'm not sure if you can tell, but these are our Avatar superfans, Team Navigators.
Gotta give them a salute for their creativity. Beautiful job. We'll see if that helps them get down this track. They are proud cat parents who will do anything for sushi. We'll see if finishing this race is one of those things.
All right, a little slow, a little stumble. I think they're rethinking all of their life decisions at the top of this whoops ramp, and rightfully so.
Into the water, wow.
Hey! Listen, everything is based. We've got creativity. We've got time. I think the creativity definitely wins out here on this one.
That was our most graceful dive into the water. Salute them. Coming in as a team, going out as a team. Good luck to those cats.
10s across the board for the splashdown from Team Navigators right there. We're seeing a lot of people have some trouble with that first obstacle. I think we kind of felt that might be an issue for them. But for those that have made it across so far, it's looking pretty great. We'll see how the Intergalactic Art Bandits fare next. It looks like they're designed for some speed, not designed for some substance, as they're stumbling to get across the start line.
Hannah, they claim to have 5 belly buttons between the two of them. That is probably the craziest thing I've heard. Get in the water. Let's get moving.
There's just some things I never needed to know, Josiah, but thank you for letting me know that. They do have a flair and a penchant for aliens, so maybe that's where that comes into play. We've got a belly flop head first into the water, and this guy right here says, you know what, we're just going to launch our craft in here as well, too. Take this cart and shove it into the lake.
This was over before it started. They wasted everybody's time. I'm just going to.
Tell us how you really feel. Let's give a nod to Chicago. Hometown nameplay right here. Chance the Snapper, much like Chance the Rapper, who's had a lot of success out of Chicago. Will this team, nope, spoiled before it starts.
Well, they claim to be avid canoers with tons of experience in non-motorized vehicles. Apparently that experience did not help them navigate this track. Right into the water.
Ew.
Oh, Lord.
Now, the synchronization of them falling into the water, I'll give them a little Chance the Clapper for that. But they're not snapping, they're not rapping, and we are going to keep moving right here. Red Bull Spinoff Chicago. Let's talk about Team Get Sendy. Out of BC and Clovis, California, Nick and Parker, a.k.a. Steel Sheep and Get Sendy.
So, Steel Steep had terrible nightmares about Sesame Street as a child. Not sure how that's going to impact him on this course. Get Sendy is an extremely average freestyle skier and only hits corks on video games. Let's see if they can make it through. I'm liking the phone action they've got right now. Always about the self-promo.
The craft is falling apart just a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what the strategy is here. Have they lost a seat? They've lost some pedals? They've lost another phone, a tablet. These guys are full sending it in a way I've never seen before.
A lot going on, wasting a lot of time trying to get down this track. Let's see if they can get back into it. I have a little bit of faith, but not much that they'll be able to finish this course.
All right, they've made it down the stairs. We're at the Lighthouse Roundabout. Nothing to write home or send home about in terms of their speed. Over across the pothole bike path, no problems there thus far. Now it's getting narrow, and it's getting wet.
Splish splash, take the bath. I had some faith in them, Hannah. I thought they may have been able to get it through, but that narrow section of the track has tripped up a lot of these racers so far today.
Now, if y'all see the replay here, I feel like they were taking their time. It might have been like a little free promo action. They said get send, full send, but they definitely sent it down into the water. That narrow piece of the course has proven pretty difficult for people if and when they do make it to that portion.
Will you make it to the end, Cooper?
Absolutely.
You guys have positive energy.
All right, we've got the Staab Brothers at the top of the course right now, about to take off here for Red Bull Spinoff Chicago. Two brothers from Nebraska.
So together they have over 500 million views. Let's see if we can make it 500,000,001 with them getting viewed finishing this course.
I will say, Josiah, I like the design of this cart. This bike looks really, really great. It looks like a motorcycle. It looks like it should be flying. A little slower than I would have expected it to be, but the power of the brothers, I feel like, is propelling them.
Very aerodynamic. Let's see if they can get through this narrow section. I have some faith, Hannah. I think they're going to be able to get it done.
We got some balance.
They're going to get it done.
Yeah, we did. Two pros.
Let's go.
From the great state of Nebraska, they do have a 5-second penalty for using their feet, which is going to put their entire time just over that 40-second mark. But we do have another successful finish from the Staab Bros.
Shout out to the Staab Bros getting it done. Took their time with the initial portion of the track, fought their way through the bridge, stayed on point, stayed on balance, got through the steps and the lighthouse.
Now, it seems like even when some of the competitors are putting their feet down, there is some strategy to it just to stabilize themselves through that first obstacle. And then they say, you know what, we'll take the 5-second penalty, and then that's just going to help us focus and reorganize ourselves down the rest of the course.
Shout out to them for getting it done. I love the approach, love the strategy, able to finish, ring the bell.
And we've got a synchronized backflip into the water to celebrate. So even though they didn't splash down during the run, a celebration into the lake afterwards. You love to see it.
Seems a little counterproductive, but I do love it.
Good energy from the Staab Bros. Congrats to them on a successful run. We take it back up to the top of the ramp for Team Cart Attack. Brian and Jason spent their entire working lives behind the same grocery store counter.
Their motto, you can do anything with grit, heart, and a little bit of grocery store wisdom. Anything but finish this track, apparently.
Listen, they've worked together their entire life, and they've worked together in great synchronization for a big old splashdown here in Chicago. Good job on working together, guys. Good job on not finishing that course, though.
Clean up on aisle 3.
That's one of the bigger designed constructions that we've seen today. I'm not sure if that played into the unsuccessful trip down the ramp. But here we go. Shouts out to the 312. We love a little bit of that Chicago area code. Chicago's go-to guide for what to do in the city is showing up at Red Bull Spinoff Chicago. Going to be added to the guide for this year.
Do 312, locally run, deeply connected to the scene. So far, not deeply connected to this track. Have not been able to get over the first set of humps.
I'm not sure that they can really see where they're going with the construction of this build.
They are stuck in limbo right now, Hannah. Oh, they figured it out. Let's see if they can get back on.
We're back on. Let's get those feet on the pedals. Even though we've touched down for that 5-second penalty, it looks like they're having a great time. Chicago, known for their skyscrapers and known for some big tumbles here at Red Bull Spinoff Chicago.
They did their best, but they did not impress. Did not make Chicago proud, but shout out to them for giving it a go.
I like their energy, though. They were trying to get the crowd behind them, hype them up as they were taking a little bit of pause to resituate themselves at the top of that. Back to the top.
Will you make it to the end?
We will.
That's positive confidence.
We will, period. Team Stunty Pants out of Northbrook, Illinois, designed and inspired by Evel Knievel.
So they participated in Red Bull Soapbox Race Iowa last year. Hopefully it went better than that. The eagle has landed.
That eagle for sure landed, not really flying, not really soaring, but is definitely splashed down here at Red Bull Spinoff Chicago. Like you said, participated in Soapbox last year. Perhaps they might want to take a spin over there now that their time here is done. Looks great, lots of good energy, but definitely not making it too far. Let's go back and talk about the Rodeo Clowns.
How, my friend, did you ask her to marry you?
I asked her to marry me at the Milwaukee Art Museum, had a big custom art piece made, and it had a big balloon dog right in the middle of it. So it's been a through line of our whole relationship. It's been great.
I don't know about you, Josiah, but there's a lot of boyfriend, girlfriend, couples, newlyweds, marrieds. This is a pair of fiancés engaged to be married this September.
Shout out to the Rodeo Clowns. Rob built an Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader costume, makes appearances at various charity events in hospitals. Rooting for them, but me rooting for them was not enough to keep them out of the water.
Listen, I would think with that balloon dog right there that they might have a little bit of air supporting them, but taking them right off of that first obstacle. Congratulations are soon to be in order for them for their upcoming nuptials. But as it stands right now, yet another unsuccessful attempt. The construction was falling apart from jump. I mean, we should have seen it coming. As Rodeo Clowns, I think they gave us a bit of hilarity and hijinks throughout their run here.
I'm going to salute them. The balloon stayed intact even with the crash through the water. Shout out to the Rodeo Clowns.
I like the way it looked. I like their energy. We just don't have anyone as close to finishing on the course other than a few of our teams who've done successfully so far. Next up, we've got Team Dan's Bourbon Gators. Now, they've wanted to participate to honor a dear friend. So shouts out to their recently long gone Dan Davis.
Shout out to this crew getting it started. The Glizzy got out the gate, though.
Yeah, not quite the best of honorees. However, we got to give it up for friends showing out for theirs. Mardi Gras, hot dogs, and not so much hot dogging down the course today.
But like you said, Hannah, salute to them, paying respect and love to their friend, doing the best that they could.
There's a hot dog floating here.
But there is a hot dog floating in the water right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Will you make it to the end?
You know it.
They know it. Okay.
From Glizzies to Grizzlies, the Grizzly Riders are in town here from South Dakota, taking their turn at Red Bull Spinoff Chicago.
So Luke was once struck by lightning. Now he's got struck by the river. Did not make it far on this course.
I feel like this is a recurring theme now here, Josiah. I don't know if everyone's taking a cue from the team before them. We're hitting that whoops track, we're hitting that whoops obstacle, and we're just going head first into the water. But we got the tap of the head as well, too. Team Grizzly Riders feeling okay, doing okay after a big splash down off that first ramp.
Kenneth's head has 1.8 times the diameter of the average human head, and you notice it right there as it splashed into the water.
Oh!
Excessive splash. Big dome. Big splash.
Big splash right there. Shouts out to the Grizzly Riders, making it here, but not making it across the finish line. Hey, shouts out to everyone in the chat. Quick reminder, our teams are based off of their speed and their creativity. So anything goes when it comes to spin-off. Team Tandemonium taking over. Again, another team that's come together through the force of unicycles. Not a unicycle here. We're tandeming it up.
Shout out to the Bob's Burger salute. So Ben, one of the riders, an incredible unicyclist. His largest unicycle has a 36-inch wheel. So far, that unicycling experience not working in the tandem. Let's see if they can keep this thing moving and get down the track.
A bit of a stumbling block as they try and rethink their life's decisions and or career path, maybe going back to the burger stand. It looks like we've got a bit of a technical issue here. Have we lost some pedals? We've lost something that makes the bike go. Maybe just the human will to continue on at this point.
They kept trying to go, Hannah, into the water. Take a swim.
Oh, and a big cannonball from Bob of Bob's Burgers himself as Team Tandemonium. They are a local team from Chicago, Illinois. I'm sure they are quite familiar with the weather and the water here in Chicago, and they refamiliarize themselves with it a bit more. Let's check in with our next team.
Chicago, how we feeling?
See, I like a little bit of that crowd play right there. Get the home team behind you. This is Team Victory Lap, which might be a little bit foreboding and proceeding as to if they finish or not.
Trained athlete.
we're going to root for them. And we tried, and they did not.
It's a quick end to that story right there. We appreciate y'all trying to get that Chicago crowd behind y'all. But that brother and sister duo are 80s kids who were raised in the era of sci-fi movies. It did not raise them to glory here on the Spinoff course.
That victory lap turned into a victory dip right quick. Good try.
Now I'm excited to see this next one. This is the Detroit Freak Bike Experience, which specializes in custom bike making.
Bike looks a little freaky, as do the costumes. And there you have it, splash into the water.
We're ready to do just some push-ups at the top of this ramp here. The whoops obstacle, it was so aptly named. I would like to give a salute to the course builders here, because they knew what they were in for, trying to give our competitors just a little bit of a challenge to start off their runs here at Spinoff.
And it's been numerous contestants now that have been unable to make it through this first section of the course. You got to be smart, you got to be deliberate, and splash into the water if you're not.
You can see on that replay right there, it's all about that start. A big push needs to happen in order to get over those first two humps of the whoops track. Hey, Detroit Freak Bike, thanks for being here. You'll get them next time. Let's check in with the Honest Babes.
Will you make it to the end?
Absolutely. Today's the day we put Abraham Lincoln in the history books.
Today, as if we didn't know who Abraham Lincoln was. The Honest Babes, associate creative directors at an advertising agency. So they got their creativity, but will they get the speed? Will they get a complete run?
They called him Honest Abe because he never told a lie. I'm going to say the Honest Babes might have told one by saying they can finish this course, and my suspicions were correct. Into the water. But thank you for making Abraham Lincoln famous for us.
There you go. Today, they said this is when everything gets immortalized in the history books. So when Red Bull Spinoff Chicago is all said and done and the books have been written, you can put the Honest Babes in there as well with a big old splashdown here in a sunny, beautiful day in Chicago. And with a backflip into the water, it's just a little bit more of a wetter read.
Look at the top hats. Look at the pennies, the copper, into the cold water.
Bonus points for the creativity, like we said, but again, without a successfully finish across the line, we're going to check back in here after the Honest Babes
Any
run.
advice for the people behind you, or are you angry and don't want to give them any advice?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think advice, keep pedaling, keep that speed, persistence, confidence. You guys got it.
For sure. Light on the pedals. Make sure that middle of the bike can move up and down, some kind of shocks motion. And other than that, just go for it.
The Honest Babes could not tell a lie. We needed that information for the rest of the competitors prior to their run. But check out this one right here, the Bad Little Robbies taking it to the top of the ramp, inspired by a bird-themed birthday party.
So most of the materials used came from Robert's old Mr. Snuffleupagus costume he made for Halloween last year. I'm going to salute them on the creativity, Hannah. This is one of the best racing vehicles I've seen today.
Listen, they said recycle, reuse, and maybe restart pedaling for the Bad Little Robbies. They're based out of New Jersey and California, respectively, so you got the best of both coasts. But these birds might want to fly a little bit further south for some migrational seasons, because we've got some issues as these birds are not flying or moving at all.
So over 100 pool noodles were used to make the nest. We will see if they find their home back in the water.
It looks here like they've maybe lost the chain and they're trying to get it repositioned. And we might, these birds are building their nest in real time on full display.
I'm looking for my
The bird is not the word, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely a lot of issues here. Obviously, if they do get it back up and running, we've got feet on the platform on the course, and the time is still running. They haven't splashed down yet.
Merely nesting. They've got it together now.
Narrowly escaping a dive before they hit that lighthouse roundabout, and now we're coming into the most narrow portion after they hit these potholes.
So far, so good. The time is a little excessive, little egregious, but hey, like we always say, slow and steady wins the race.
It's wobbly, it's wiggling, and I really wanted to see them finish after a precarious start to that. But again, maybe that top-heavy nesting didn't fare so well across that narrow portion right there. But hey, like you said, those hundreds of pool noodles helps them float into the lake.
The noodles found their home, found their use. Good try for this crew right here, trying to get through. Took them a little while to get going, but once they did, they had a very, very formidable attempt. Unable to get it done, though.
I will say the creativity there, though. I always say I don't like to pick favorites, but one of the more beautiful crafts that we've had. Up to the Wet Bandits next.
Will you make it to the end?
We are so making it to the end. Let's make some noise, Chicago!
Okay, Chicago. Now, this pays homage to the iconic Chicago-based movie. It's Home Alone.
Shout out to Kevin McAllister. We'll see if these Wet Bandits fare any better than the ones from the movie.
That very much looked like a scene from the movie, just all the way, immediately, stumbling, bumbling, the Wet Bandits. Let's see if they can't take it back up to the top of the ramp and try again, much like those bandits in the movie.
So they're friends because neither of them are good at saying that's probably not a good idea. This definitely falls into that range. Trying to fix the bikes, the Wet Bandits, trying to make things sticky. Let's see if they can get it done.
Looking for a little bit of that hometown support by referencing Home Alone. I love that. Creativity, entertainment, and it's very entertaining to see them try and get this bike even off the start ramp. Again, we're having some issues with the time and with getting down this first obstacle, but there you go. Ask the hometown. Ask them for a little encouragement. And again, the same... Oh. And they've decided to just eradicate, evacuate, and take a big old dip into the lake.
Wet Bandits living up to the name.
Friends and Pivots up next as we go on in here from our team from India. Now their theme and idea comes from the show Friends.
So they first tried riding a tandem bike on Mechanic Island. This is a perfect full circle moment for them. Look at this crew go. They seem to have a very, very good pace. Very steady, Hannah.
I like the strategy they have so far. It's efficient. It's working. They are pivoting, just like in that iconic Friends sitcom scene where they're pivoting a couch up a set of stairs. They are pivoting through the potholes. Will they maneuver this couch as a pair of friends through this narrow portion?
And no, they will not.
Very narrowly with that decision to fly off the left-hand side of the narrow part of the course right there. They first tried, like you said, riding that tandem bike together on an island, but they are now off island into the water. Subway Surfers Chicago edition up next, another married pair that met back in high school.
So Brianna recently graduated from Columbia College. Conrad owns a 1987 Mercedes. That did not help him here.
Not at all. The Subway Surfers are doing a little bit of a different style of surfing. We've got some people coming down to check on them, and it looks like, oh, the Subway Patrol have busted them. They said, you cannot ride here, you cannot skate here, folks. But you might be able to swim here alongside your craft. I love the design, but it just didn't take them very far today. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about this in Chicago, but the Grate Rivalry, we've got some cheeseheads in the building.
Bears versus Packers, one of the oldest rivalries in sports and in the NFL. Good to see them coming together for a common good. Let's see if they can finish this race and get that ball through the wall all the way to the finish line.
I'm not sure if you're ready for football season, but these guys are ready to take it around the Lighthouse roundabout. Coming into our next section with a bunch of potholes, which might signify the rocky relationship that Bears and Packers fans indeed do have. They're losing the footballs. They're slowly making it across the potholes. Now, this is where things get really tricky.
And a Packer and a Bear in the water.
You could have seen that one coming from just about a mile away. Now, they seem to be friends, not quite enemies, but that rivalry will continue after today is said and done, Bears and Packers. However, shouts out to them coming together for Red Bull Spinoff Chicago. Speaking of all things that are bad in the Midwest, we've got our Midwestern Baddies team. Now, this one looks a little bit different. We've got a big old pink Cadillac.
So they have a sister who's 11 months older, making them Irish twins. Not sure what to do with that information, but they will now take a trip into the water.
Barbie's dream house has become a nightmare as they take her pink car for a splish splash down into the lake. They didn't really make it that far, but you know what? You got to give everyone props today. I think a lot of the energy coming forth today is creativity. It's fun. We've talked a lot about the friendships that have come together here just to have a good time in Chicago.
Creatively finding ways to crash into that water. Salute to them.
We take you back to the top right now. Team Computah. Computah, can you make these guys and gals all their way across the finish line? I like the way it looks. A little bit of that rainbow wheel of doom on the back wheel, though, which might signify how they fare.
I have a little bit of faith in them, Hannah. Not much based on what I've seen today, but they are trudging along, moving down this course past the lighthouse, working in sync, which is the most important thing to finish this course.
Yeah, I like the way that they're moving and grooving so far. A little bit of that, you said, that synchronization, and it's looking like, that's so close! If they could have just pushed it off to the right a little bit. They leaned a little too far left after the Narrows. They were so close to glory, so close to victory. Listen, creativity, yes. Time, not quite without a finish. Across the line.
That computer's going to need a reboot.
Hey, let's go over to the Komodo Cowboys.
Will you make it to the end?
We're here to win, Chicago.
We've got our Cowboys up at the top of there. This is our last run of the day, and we've got a time to beat of 33.8 seconds. This team met in college at Michigan State University.
Hannah, they design and build random things together such as speakers, desks, inverted pendulums, lamps, coffee tables, and much more. And apparently, Komodo, Dragon, double tandem bikes.
But have they built a winning run here together? The creativity, I say yes. Look at that Dragon pedaling right alongside them. They're working together, and they're working together right into the water.
Drag that Dragon right into the water. Komodo Cowboys.
I liked the energy of it. They had a lot of confidence at the top of the ramp. However, it's not looking like any bonus points, any extra points for finishing across the line. We've had a lot of splashdowns here today.